Hello and welcome back to Binary Options 101. In this video, we're going to talk about the net effect. And the net effect means that we are looking to do multiple deals on a repeated basis in binary options so we can net out a profit. This means what? This means we are going to do deals. Okay, let's say we're going to start somewhere. We're going to start with picking, let's say, a stock. Okay, we're going to pick a stock to trade just for 6 hours because that's more manageable mentally. Okay, let's say we pick a stock 5 trades a day. We want a system that gives us potentially 5 trades a day to very good probability of success on each trade. Okay, so the mental approach. Now this may sound kind of silly, but it's not. And what I'm trying to push here is the mentality that we want to figure out a way where we trade every trade, or we can. Okay. Now, in the stock market, the stock market will have its own cycles. Okay, it will have its own price movement characteristics according to time during the day. Now, for example, the lunch hour, 12 to 1 Eastern time. Well, people, the markets do slow down and they have certain price behaviors. Now, the issue there is that, is it still tradable? And that's going to depend on the type of system you use, okay? If we're often getting a pattern that is, if you can just follow the mouse, kind of like a zigzag, okay, or just a kind of triangle, mush, then you need only certain types of systems can handle that, okay. Otherwise, you just can make it a rule for your type of system to say don't trade a lunch, okay. Now in Forex, you have different times of the day of activity and non-activity. The most activity you'll see will be at the Euro Open, okay, which starts at 2 a.m. and then the USA Open, which starts at about 9 a.m. okay, although the market's open at 9:30. And during these times, you'll see the most activity, most price, most price conviction. But again, once we go inside the bars, we don't need a ton of price conviction every time, since we're not, we're not intraday swing trading, for example. We just need a price to be cleared. Okay, remember, we just need to clear a certain price to profit. Okay, so if and it closes, we profit 70% or so, okay? Depending what the payout is at the time. Okay, so we want to force the issue. Okay, now, of course, we need to obtain or create a system that will allow us to potentially win every time or every hour. Okay, now, I use the word potentially. It's because it's not just to be cool legalistically or legal speak. It is because price movement can have, there's an element of price movement where that is not exactly predicted, and to think that you can exactly predict price movement is an erroneous mindset. Okay, now when I speak in terms, particularly in the last video, that price and price on price charts moves through fundamentals that can be determined, price movement fundamentals, and such as ratios, Fibonacci numbers, and trends, trend lines, ranges, etc. That price moves within those parameters. Okay, but those are still guidelines that put a shape, and they do influence the behavior. Okay, but they don't guarantee where a price is going to go. They do give us great probability where the price is going to go, okay, to where the price is going to go. And the best way to think in terms of trading in general is in probability, and that's not to be a cool again, or to please the governing bodies, the SEC or FTC. Although there's no use in upsetting them either, but I speak in terms of probability because that's the most profitable way to think in trading. Okay, always use the word probability and think in probability, the best probability scenario. And that, when I started doing that 11 years ago, 12 years ago, then that has helped my accuracy in general and my attitude. Okay, and it's been pretty. It was a pretty significant improvement in everything I did. Okay, and then of course, one way of thinking spreads into other aspects of life, and that helped in other aspects of life as well. So, anyways, we need to define or develop the system. Now, that trades to potentially win every hour. Okay. Now the thing is, we want to stack up the trades, the wins, and the losses. Okay, or I should say, or rather, profits and costs, or I should say revenue. Okay. To think more accurately, okay, in trading. Stack up the trades and wins and losses, rather, revenue or cost, to net out for the day. Okay, not every trade will win, especially if your system stinks. Okay, and even the best, even our MMX system, which has many days of 100% winning on every trade, okay, which is pretty cool. Even our MX system does not win all the time, and in stocks it does extremely well. Commodities does extremely well. Stocks probably the best. Commodities second. Forex third. And plus, you got to look at the time zones on Forex. Okay, let's go pop over to Forex really quickly. Now, Forex in general has slightly less accuracy, but has lots of opportunity. Okay, and if you could trade the 24 hours a day, okay, well, you could potentially net out handsomely. Now, if you had a certain winning rate, success rate of trading, okay, let's say you won 70% of the time, okay, well then in that case, let's do the math, okay. Okay, so the math equals 7 trades times 70%, okay, plus a negative, okay, 3 times 90, okay, percent. Now, why are we doing this? It's just the simple way, a practical way of looking at this. So let's get the calculator out. So we have 7 times 70 is 490. So we had the positive percentages equal 490%. Okay. And then we have the, we'll put a plus in front of that. And then we have the minuses. So, you know, we have 3 times 9, it's 180. 3 times 90, I'm sorry, wait, no, I'm sorry, I just did the wrong math, sorry. 3 times 90 is 270. See, that's why we need these calculators, okay. Embarrassing moment. 3 times 90%, so we have 270, so we have a negative 270. Okay, so we have to put these two together. Now, that said, for the losses, it reminds me in the system, you can take, okay, and it depends on your system, but you can take trades in the opposite direction within an hour, okay? Now, you know, of course, you can't go too crazy with that, all right? But because if your system is not that good, you can end up with a bunch of losses within an hour, okay? And it depends on your binary broker where they cap the numbers of trades you can do within an hour. You can always have 2 accounts trading too, okay? Let's say you have one account, a starter account, and then you have a second account that will take the opposite side. So you can net loss, you know, you can lose twice, okay? But in one of the systems, or a couple of systems, we go over taking, you know, both sides of the signals, if the signals arise like that, in order to mitigate that 90% loss turn into a 20% loss, okay? And that is that's important, of course, because that helps reduce our costs. But it depends on your system, okay? So, you know, your system, every now and then, even with both the systems I'm thinking about right now, you had a session where you had 2 losses, okay? But most of the time in those systems, you ended up with only a 20% loss, and that overall has reduced cost over time. So right here in our example, we have 490 minus 270 as 220, okay? Okay, so on this day, and we had 10 trades, and at a winning rate of 70%, our profit is 220%, okay? Now, let's look if we won all 10 trades. Okay, we're obviously thinking 4 extra commodities now. Let's say we won 10 trades in a row. Okay, what's that? 70 times 10. 700%. Now, notice the dramatic difference between 220% and 700% on the day. Okay, it's the loss factors that come in there, and just the not winning of the other trades, of course. And I want you to see this because, this needs to be clear in your mind. There's different ways of thinking. Some of the advertising may skew your mind in a certain way, and just kind of confuse the issue. But the bottom line is, what are you going to walk out with at the end of the day? Okay? And what are you going to walk out with at the end of every day? Now, most money managers would, well, I'll refrain from making any ridiculous expressions, but they would to make a 70% return in a year, that would be a miracle. Okay? Now, money managers, though, they're managing people's retirement funds usually. Okay, you have hedge fund managers who trade aggressive funds on purpose, and you sign up on purpose for those funds, or even some aggressive mutual funds. Now to make 70% on a large sum of money in a year, yes, that's quite a feat. Okay, while trying to actually keep your original money and not blow it. Okay. Now, so that's one story, but for you even, and just trading in general, to make 70% a day it's pretty crazy. Okay, well, no, it's not, but anyways, for most of the trading community, it's pretty crazy. Okay, so what am I thinking with our day trading systems? Anyways, but those are another products you can get your hands on, and you may hear about those over time. But anyways, we're talking about binary options here, what if you're able to actually net? I mean, 220% is pretty high, okay, but on average, what if you're able to do 100% a day, okay, net out of wins and losses. Okay, revenues and costs. What if you're able to do that? Okay, and I'm talking seriously. Obviously, you can hear from the tone of my voice. What if you're able to do that? Well, why not? Let's push the issue and figure it out. Okay, why not? There's a challenge. So, a challenge needs, why not figure out a challenge? Okay. That's how the world progresses, and plus it's very enjoyable. You have a challenge, say, okay, and don't listen to anyone else. You can go for whatever you want, okay, in life. You just need to say, I want to go for this, and go for it. Don't tell anyone, okay? Don't tell these, other people who are lazy or negative, A, or B, they don't have the same goal or interest, so you can't blame them for not being excited about your new idea or goal. They didn't hear the same things you did, so we can't get mad at them either. Okay, but so it's better just to keep our mouth shut and take action on our stuff. Okay, on our ideas. So that's just a tip of the decade right there, right? So if we're able to do 220% in a day, well, obviously that's awesome. Okay, and so let's just do the math on the money we take home. Okay, and we'll come and do a stock example since we first started out with a stock. Okay, so I wanted to do 70% with 10 because the math is easy, and I definitely don't want to get into a math brain crunch right now. Okay, so let's go here. I already mismultiplied 3 times 90, so anyways. Okay, so we are talking about how much dollar figures this 220% is. Okay, well, what type of bet size? Okay, well, okay. Okay, so in essence, let's just say we had $100 trade sizes, okay, and so we won, So every time we won a trade, okay, we had a $100 trade size, we made 70%. Okay, let's just say we made 70% each time. So so we make $70, okay, per $100 trade size, and so we profited on 7. 70 times 7 equals what? 490. Okay, obviously the numbers will match up nicely now since we're using, tens. Okay, and the same here. We take 100 times 0.9 for the loss is equals 90, and we lost 3 times here. Okay, so $270 in loss. Okay, so what do we have? 450 or 490? Okay, so the net is $220. Okay, what you could have done here as well is that you can just multiply 100 times 2.2, because remember, percentages, we need to bring the decimal over. Okay, because percentages add decimals, take the decimal to the right. Remember that. Okay, times 2.2 for 220%, and that equals 222, or as well. Now, let's say we're taking $500 position sizes. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to multiply that times 2.2. So $1,100. Okay, now you don't want to necessarily take $500 position sizes from the start, even if you have a lot of money. Okay, because why? Well, why waste any money, until you have gotten a trading system down and practiced it so you can execute it. Okay, now, having a trading system is good and fine, but if you miss the trades, okay, if you're not paying attention, okay, then what's the use? All right, what's the use? Because your win and loss percentage will be off. Okay, so anyways, let's say you're able to net 220 on the day like this. That's $1,100. Okay. And some days, let's say in stocks, we have 100% winning. Oops. Okay. So on days we have 100% winning on 5 trades in stocks, we have 350. Okay, times. So we take $500 trade size times 3.5. So $1,750 a day. Okay, so you trade 20 days a month. Okay, that's 35 grand a month in income. Okay, now we're talking. Now, the thing about that is you're not going to win every day, all 5 trades. Okay, so let's say you're able to net out. Let's bring it back to 150. Okay, so we're going to take $500 and we net out 1.5, 150% a day. Okay, wins and losses, and so 750 times a day times 20 days. We trade 20 days, so 15 grand in a month. But let's just write this down, okay? Okay, so on $500 trade sizes to which you can graduate. You can profit to $750 a day. Okay, this equals $15,000 a month if you trade 20 days a month. Okay, but this is just on one instrument, stock forex pair. Okay, so now the issue is, what if you traded more than one instrument? With a little exclamation point. And what if you traded the same instrument from multiple accounts? Okay? What if you traded the same instrument from multiple accounts? Okay, now you can increase your bet sizes. Okay, you can expand. Okay, and i.e. trade Apple from 3 different binary options brokers at the same time. Okay, it's simple enough to do. Okay, because once you have your trigger point, it's just one click, the call or put, or actually I should say, you have to select the amount, then we click call or put, 3, then confirm. Okay, so that is pretty neat. Okay, and so that's another very valuable insight. All right, so so think about this. Watch this video again. It's pretty interesting. Okay, and I want you to start thinking this way, and I want you to look into start looking into a binary options trading system. Okay, I can vouch for ours because I know what's in them, and they're solid. Okay, and so pick up a system, shortcut a lot of time, and get about netting out a potential consistent income from binary options. Now, if you do the numbers here, so let's just say I'm going to try to do this before the 30-minute mark in this video. I'm long-winded, aren't I? Okay, so now 15,000 a month goes to 45,000 a month on one stock. Okay, so that's something very interesting. Okay, so think about that, and just plow forward, take action. take the action to get the knowledge and the education, and start looking at the charts yourself. All right, thank you.